Okay, if you're an early childhood educator, you know this feeling, right? It's this constant tug of war. On one side, you have your deep belief in child centered, play based learning. And on the other, there's this relentless demand for data, for proof of progress. So the big question is, how do you do both? How do you honor what you know is right for kids and still meet those demands?
Yeah, I bet that sounds familiar. The pressure from policymakers, from funders, it's real. They want to see the numbers. They want to see that their investment is making a difference. And look, that's a fair question, but man, it can really feel like you're being squeezed between what you know is best for kids and what you're being told you have to prove.
And all that pressure, it tends to shove us toward this model on the left, teaching to the test. You know, a day filled with on-demand assessments and teacher-led drills. But we all know the real magic, the deep, authentic learning, happens over here on the right, where kids learn through play and we observe them over time. So, how do we bridge that gap? To solve this, we've got to pinpoint the real problem. And here's the twist. The problem isn't accountability. I mean, we all want high-quality programs that really help kids thrive. The real enemy here is the flawed methods we're often pushed to use. Think about it. When the whole focus shifts to just teaching to the test, we start leaning on these little mini tests that capture just one sterile snapshot in time. And when that happens, the very engine of learning, play, exploration, genuine curiosity, it just gets pushed to the side. The day turns into a checklist of drills, and that rich, vibrant classroom you worked so hard to create just starts to feel smaller. All right, so if the methods are the bad guy, what about the tools we're given? I'm talking about those state early learning guidelines. It is so easy to see them as just one more thing adding to the pressure. But what if we could reframe them completely?
Well, here's some really good news. These guidelines, they aren't some push-down curriculum that's being forced on us from the upper grades. Nope. They're actually written by early childhood experts, people just like us, who get what's age appropriate. They're totally grounded in solid child development research.
And that brings us to this really powerful metaphor. Think about an architect's blueprints. The blueprints themselves don't build the house, right? But they give you that essential structure, the plan, that makes sure the final building is strong and sound. Well, in the same way, learning guidelines are our blueprints for education. The guidelines give us the framework. They provide that crucial structure, a common language, and clear goals. But they're not a cage. They don't dictate the color of the walls or the style of the furniture. That part, that's all you. That's where your professional creativity and expertise shine. So here's the bottom line, the big turning point of this whole conversation. The conflict isn't with the standards themselves, it's all about the implementation. It all comes down to how we decide to use these blueprints. Are we building rigid cages, or are we designing vibrant, amazing spaces for learning? So what's a better way forward? Well, there's a method that lets us use these blueprints beautifully. It's a way to honor authentic learning and provide the rich, meaningful data we need. It's called systematic observation. Now, this isn't just, randomly watching kids play. It's a deliberate, really intentional process. First, it's ongoing, happening right inside your normal everyday activities, no special testing time. Second, it's criterion-based, meaning you're using those guidelines as your blueprint. Third, you actually document what you see. Fourth, you stay objective, just describing the facts. And finally, and this is the most important part, you use what you see to make your teaching even better and support every single child's progress.
Okay, theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like in the beautiful chaos of a real classroom? Let's zoom in on a single, everyday moment and see this idea come to life.
We're going to zoom way in on one child during a simple, routine part of the day. And I think you'll be amazed at how much we can learn just by looking with real intention. So let's meet Angel. He's 4 years and 10 months old. It's snack time. He saves a chair for his friend, Luis. He grabs 3 crackers, and he counts them out loud. 1, 2, 3. He uses his knife to spread some peanut butter, and then he's chatting and says, "At our farm, we have chickens and goats." And here's the key. This wasn't some big, planned assessment. The teacher didn't pull Angel aside for a test. It was just snack time, a simple, daily routine. But look at the incredible amount of information that was revealed in that one little moment. This is the power of this method. In that one brief moment, Angel showed skills across, get this, 5 different developmental domains. We saw literacy, numeracy, fine motor development, his understanding of self and community, and his own independent approach to learning. One observation, 5 domains, all tying directly back to our blueprints. You see, observing this way does more than just give you data. It fundamentally transforms your practice. It helps you become what experts call an intentional teacher. So what does that mean? Well, as the expert Ann Epstein puts it, an intentional teacher has clearly defined goals. Hey, those are our guidelines. They use smart strategies to help kids get there. And crucially, they are constantly assessing progress through observation, and then they adjust their teaching based on what they see. It's this dynamic, responsive, professional mindset. And this is how we solve the whole puzzle. Systematic observation isn't a compromise. It's just a better solution all around. It elevates your own professional practice, it directly benefits children by making your teaching more responsive, and it delivers the authentic, high-quality data that finally satisfies that demand for accountability. It's a total win-win-win. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. If you start looking at your classroom's everyday moments, at snack time, during outdoor play, even during transitions, if you start looking with this kind of focused intention, what amazing things are you going to see?